we've taken huge steps in that 19 months. I'm very proud of the school district and the Board of Education and how committed they are to children, and that our students are getting what they need, and that we are trying to create a school district, or to continuously create a school district that our students are going to leave us able to operate in the jobs that will be available for them when they graduate. So that's been our goal. We've made tremendous strides in technology over the last 19 months. We have made tremendous strides in getting our teachers trained over the last 7 years when we've had an influx of bilingual students in our district. We have 23 teachers that are ESL endorsed now. We also have more teachers who are bilingual. And the board is committed to meeting the needs of our clientele. 7 years ago, we began getting more and more bilingual students in our district. Previous to the 7 years, it was primarily Hispanic, but we were only at like 17% at that time. Then there was like an explosion, and we went from 17% to about 30% pretty quickly.
Spanish.
No, then we started getting some Arabic students in, many from Yemeni, and then we're now at 50% bilingual, which we feel is a blessing as a school district. With that has come parents who are willing to work with their children, who want want the support of the schools, and are willing to support us at home by doing the things that we ask them to do. It's a very tight community. We feel very confident that we have diversity in our high school. All the children get along. Our focus used to be primarily football. Now we're football and soccer. We're building a stadium, whereas before we would concentrate just on how well it fit our football players, and we have to make sure that it's going to be the standard that is needed for our soccer players as well. We have parenting classes where we teach them what they want to know. We allow them to tell us, what do you need to know about? So we have parents who want to learn how to order a pizza. We have parents who want to know how to learn how to shop and look at labels. They dictate what they want to learn in our classes. We provide babysitting for them when they come to the classes. We have classes where they learn to speak English. When they come up to the school and they have questions, we make sure that we have an interpreter there for them so that they feel welcome and they feel comfortable about asking the questions. We just hired a Yemeni assistant principal at our Najwa Aliyah, and she's wonderful. We're very blessed because our school board has a zero tolerance to any drug issues. So in the past, if there has ever been anything found on a student, or a student has ever brought anything to our schools, they are suspended or expelled, and they're not allowed to come back to our schools. Of course, kids make mistakes, and they sometimes think that it's okay, and it's not okay. And unfortunately, that has at times had to make a example out of that, but we've always had zero drug tolerance. The thing that we're facing, which everyone in the state is facing, is a teacher shortage. And because we have a teacher shortage, we then have a substitute problem. So that's what I'm facing. That's like my biggest problem right now. I have to tell you, and I don't know if you're going to put this on or not, but when you say, somebody will say to you, how are you doing today? And they'll say, oh, I'm living the dream, and they say it sarcastically. I really am living my dream.
I like that.
I have a board that has supported everything we've asked for kids, for students, and I have a really good school district going here, people who are really committed to children. I wanted to be a superintendent. I studied to be one, and I wanted to see if what I believed could come to fruition, and I see it coming to fruition. I know that Dearborn is very committed to its students, just like we are. We have looked, Lynn and I have looked to Dearborn many times in guiding us with our bilingual program because they have so many years before us that we had. I didn't go to school to learn to become a curriculum director and superintendent in a bilingual district, and that put me like on some uneven ground there when I first got my position, because this was dropped in my lap and Lynn's lap, and so we looked to Dearborn quite a bit. We have Dearborn's much larger than us. They have the resources in terms of their staffing with bilingual, that they have much more experience in it because they've been in the business working with bilingual kids for a long time. So I have to tell you, I think Dearborn does a tremendous job. But I also think that we're doing a very good job as well. I think what we have to offer is that we're smaller, so we can put more concentration into the students that we have. We have more newcomers, like from a select area of the Arabic community. We're mostly Yemen, so we don't have that conflict between the different regions I think that Dearborn might be experiencing, because mostly Yemenis have settled in this area. 3 years in a row that all of our students have applied to a college. We have had 100% of all of our seniors apply to a college. Now, they may choose to go to a trade school or whatever they choose to do, but they've all been encouraged to look to their future. And, some people are clothes snobs, car snobs. I'm an education snob. I own it. So I believe that anybody can achieve. And we had a young man 2 years ago that came from Yemen, and I believe he came maybe sophomore year, and he didn't speak any English at all. And he graduated in our top 10. He spoke, and there wasn't a dry eye. He went to U of D Mercy. He's going to U of D Mercy. And he got up and spoke in front of everybody and talked about how when he came here, it was very difficult for him. But he would go to bed 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and he'd sit with an English dictionary next to him and look up the words and look up to see what they meant. And the boy graduated after 3 years in the top 10 of our school and went on to U of D Mercy. And that is a lot of stamina he put in order to do that. And so, we have children in our schools. We don't have 20, 30, 40 that go on to places like Cornell. But, the sky's the limit. I always use the phrase with my ad staff, build it and they'll come, and they'll come. Just put it out there, and those who are ready for it are going to grasp at it. But you can never put a limit. You have to allow children and students and teachers, you have to allow them to reach the top, to reach as high as they're going to be able to reach. Not everybody's going to go to Cornell. Not everybody's going to go to Yale. Not everybody's going to go to Harvard. But we have some children that will be able to do it. I really believe that if you come from a solid home and your parents support you and build you up, you can do anything.